I want to speculate about my three-part journey, or my 3 steps to loving myself. And I say speculate because I can't really know what happened in my mind. Well, let's say that now I love myself for, God damn it, there's going to be wind. This is why I can't give you guys a nice background. All right, let's be serious now. I love myself for my capacities, not for my thoughts or my achievements, or it's just I guess it's just a faith in my potential. And then also, I love knowing that I can't be wrong for too long. I'll be wrong my whole life, but it'll always be a little bit less wrong. I love myself because I feel good learning. I love myself because no matter how wrong I am now, I am going to get a little bit closer to being right, and I'm just able to make those adjustments. And I'm even working on being able to make those adjustments with even more fluidity. So that's why I love myself now, I think. So let's say that it started, I never really thought about what does that mean, love yourself and blah, blah. And I had this friend about 10 years ago, and this guy, what's ironic is that he's all about big muscles, money, beautiful women. I don't know really what he is sort of on the inside. Maybe that's it. He is the ability to adjust to his ability is the ability to adjust to social proof. So that's what people are doing. That's what makes me lovable. And he does it. I don't know how he gets the jobs that he gets. Anyway, but he used to always talk to me about the importance of loving oneself. And maybe I was just feeling good around this time. And so I started thinking I do love myself. But maybe it wasn't a real love. And then moving on to step 2. So step 1, someone is talking about loving myself. I'm feeling good. I'm like, okay, yeah, I love myself. Step 2 is when I realized that how much of that love depends on attractive women validating me. That's totally natural, but I realized I didn't want that to be my case. So that's step 2, when I stopped finding love there, or finding self-love from others' attraction or time. And so I made a video about that, and then I deleted that channel, created this one, and re-uploaded it. And it did actually quite well on the previous channel. So that's called Why I Stopped Shaving. And it explains the actual work I did to no longer depend on validation from attractive women, which was such an easy way to feel good about yourself. Look, this attractive woman thinks I'm cool. It's just so easy. And of course, the brain loves those shortcuts. And then in 2020, I moved into a tent in the woods, and I started calling myself a philosopher, and I started focusing on thinking and just having ideas and seeing where they go. And so I became myself. The self I had sort of vaguely always imagined. The alternative sort of artist who's like, I don't know, whatever, who just thinks, and that's what he offers people. Some really cool thoughts. So between 2020 and 2022, I became myself. 2022 is when I started living here. I'm able to travel. I have electricity. So now whatever thoughts I have, I can turn them into something. I'm taking my medicine every day, drinking coffee every day, and the reason I'm able to do that is because I'm also self-medicating in order to counterbalance the boom, boom, boom of all the stimulants. So I'm in a good place. I've become myself. I know my abilities, and now I can love myself for them. And the most important ability is that ability to adjust. And so just like my friend adjusts to, whatever he sees in magazines, I want to adjust to truth. Can't know where it is, but if I hear a noise over there, maybe I'll start to go, okay, and I guess that's true. I have no idea if it was capital T truth that made that noise. I'm not sure I said everything that I wanted to say, but I think I said enough to explain, to define a way of loving oneself, to justify my love for myself, and to show you that that you can also love yourself. Love your ability to move. Love your ability to grow. Love your ability to see things that are hard for you to see. Love your ability to discover and become yourself. And maybe part of self-love is just being able to have a self that you can imagine loving. So we talked about the love part, my capacities, and what is the self? Well, the self doesn't really exist. So how do I love myself? Well, oh yeah, that's such a good point. Because the self doesn't really exist. So when I say that I love myself, what I'm saying is I love the good parts of myself, my good capacities, and also my relationship to the bad parts of myself. My ability to adjust those. As the good voices, ability to deal with us, the bad voices. So that's my love for myself. My alignment with the good team. Of course, I don't really know which voices are good and which are bad, but I'm able to adjust. And then we have to make that love apply to something, be reflexive. And so I could just imagine my good voices, but that's not really how the brain works. It's hard to, I need an image. And the image is me. The image is a guy who lives here during the week, who goes in on the weekend and works with kids in English for free, who, in order to, one of them to develop her confidence and open up, another one to sort of help his parents sort of, because we have certain things in common, to understand sort of what's going on in there, and meanwhile teaching them English. I love myself because, look at that, I can wear swimming goggles purely because I think it's practical and also what holds my hair. It's not practical every day, but when I'm going to need them, I'm going to be glad I have them. The very first day I bought them, changed the oil under the car, and it was my first time doing it. No idea really what I was doing, watching a YouTube video. And then I was like, oh my gosh, is this oil just going to come gushing out? I just bought them, had them here, put them on. Wow, great. I love myself because I'm able to do that. And also, and so that's the self, this is the self, this person, this thing that I've discovered, these good voices and capacities that I am happy with, and the representations of that, because look at this. I just thought this was a cool necklace when I first saw it, and then I don't even think it was the same day, but I realized that in my language, can, it's a triangle, right? You see that? Okay, can. Bad voice, mala. You see that? Actually, I'm kind of cheating right now because originally I had an actual symbol that was like a loop-de-doo like that, and it meant error. And so I just realized I have to change. Well, I don't know why I mentioned my explanation to people. Luckily, though, I did keep that sort of idea. And so we have this loop-de-doop sort of thing, this at sign, which is a bad voice rather than error, an incorrect mechanism. So before I would explain this as saying I can, there's no I there, can err, but now certainly can mala, I mean definitely. And let's take a look at this square. What's that mean? I have male, which are maladaptive mechanisms, maladaptive voices. Upside down triangle, that would be in knowledge, obviously. Nabla. I know my bad voices, maybe. I have bad voices. And I is just an L, so maybe, this square in the middle can be seen as L. A circle is just an object, a thing. I'm actually just realizing a lot of these things. So we could say have, being the square, it, circle. That's why I love myself, because I have it. Now, in French, it's even cooler to explain, because as long as we take this to mean error, because in French, you could say, I can, je peux, pouvoir, je peux me tromper, j'ai tort. And that's the cool one, because in French, you don't say I am wrong, you say I have wrong, or wrongness or something. So have, wrong, and then I know I err, if you want to take an L from that square, and I have wrong. That's why I love myself. I think it's really hard to love yourself if you think you're already right. Then you got to protect yourself from everybody telling you that you're wrong. I think it's really hard when the image of yourself is a representation of what you believe or what you have accomplished rather than of your capacity. Just the way that I dress is a reminder that I am able to be whatever I am without concern of others. Could I do a better job? Should I I paint my nails today? I absolutely will. Could I wear a dress because it's hot? Well, shit. I mean, dresses are terribly impractical. There's no pockets and stuff. Anyway, I've proven to myself enough that I am comfortable expressing or being whatever in pretty much any setting to any audience. I've even done a lot of stage stuff, so I'm pretty convinced about that. And so this is a representation of that ability not to adjust to their perception, but to adjust to what I am and what truth is. I mean, none of this is true, but it's true that I'm wrong. It's true that I know nothing. It's true that I often need to jot something down. It's true that my pants can get heavy because of this pouch here. So I like to be able to undo this and everything just doesn't fall. So it's true that I need these suspenders. This t-shirt, I don't need any specific t-shirt. This is just a t-shirt that my girlfriend gave me once when I slept over at her place. It's true that there's a pandemic. It's true that this has potential. And if it's not true, I'll adjust. All right? So if you were trying to love yourself based on an image of what you were, what you started as, my advice is to switch up. And my advice is to see that as your past self. And maybe we can say then there's no point in loving your past self. You know, you don't need to have a ton of regrets, but love the fantasy of yourself. Love your future self, you know? You love your future self, you find a way of getting together. You'll find a way of coupling yourself with that future self. So maybe, as I said, all I can do is speculate. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe I just decided to love my future self, or a self that I wanted to be. I don't know, man. But maybe there was something in there that could help you. Maybe everything I said was wrong, but maybe there's still something that could help you. I love myself because I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay if the truth changes, if I'm completely wrong about everything, if there's no social proof for anything. I'm okay that there will never be proof for anything. It's hard to be unhappy. It's unhappy when you expect there to be things that you can count on besides the future, that the sun will rise tomorrow. It's hard to love yourself when you haven't become yourself. It's hard to love yourself when you don't have an image that represents the self that you've become and that represents your future self. And maybe none of that made any sense. I remembered the piece I'd forgotten, which is that, see, I would want to tell people that you have to start by loving yourself as you are. But there's a lot wrong with that, because our default state really isn't very good. And I think that's why we have a lot of conflict in the world. People saying, okay, so what is my starting pack? Okay, that's what I'm gonna love then. Which is why I want to specify the aspect of yourself that you should love is your capacities, your abilities, your potential, your future. Yeah, your gifts. But don't love yourself for the things that Mother Nature just gave you that aren't adaptive. Love yourself for the part of you that you love. There you go. Love the part of you worthy of love. And in addition to that, love the future, which is just going to be more of that. And that's what I'm excited about. I love where I'm starting with the good voices, and I'm just so excited to have more of this good stuff. Okay?